So, here so far we have been talking about creep, how the creep curve looks like. We talked about the different the creep equation and the genesis of the creep equation. We also talked about strain rate of deformation and how strain rate of deformation depends on the applied stress. We determine the strain rate of deformation as a function of these different factors, and what we have found out is the creep could happen by different mechanisms depending, and these mechanisms are described or defined by the values of P, N, Q and also the constant A. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning of the lectures on creep, that the shape of the creep curve is also dependent on the type of mechanism. Since we are talking of mechanisms, I would also want to point out that the shape of the creep curve depends on the type of mechanism that is in operation. So, you could have different types of creep curves, and so in this particular slide I am showing you 4 types of creep curves: curve A, B, C and D. All of them are very different from each other, and this is a representative of the different type of creep curves that you could see, and depending on how the plastic deformation is happening, you could have A or you could have B or C or D. So, for example, type A curves, this one, this curve, this is how a regular creep curve looks like, are usually exhibited by annealed metals and certain alloys known as class M or class 2 type of alloys. So, these are this is a typical creep curve where you have an instantaneous strain, and then you have a primary creep, and then you have a steady state creep range followed by tertiary creep and failure. So, this type of a creep curve is generally exhibited by annealed metals and certain type of alloys known as class M alloys. Class M is means metal type of alloy. So, we are going to talk about this in the coming portions. Now, let us look at curve B. So, if you see, curve B depicts an insignificant primary stage. So, here the primary stage is very small. So, we see a secondary stage follow the primary stage is followed by a secondary stage. So, the primary stage is small, and such type of creep curve is obtained when the substructure pertaining to creep remains constant, such as in some alloys known as class A or class 1 type. So, we are introducing 2 terms here, class M and class A type of materials, of alloys or materials. Class M corresponds to metal type of behavior, class A corresponds to alloy type of behavior. So, B, the curve creep curve B is generally seen in alloy type of when the material the alloy is known as class A type of alloys, and the thing to note here is the curve, this type of a curve is obtained when the substructure pertaining to creep remains constant. Now, the beginning of the creep lectures we were talking about how during creep deformation the substructure is evolving, especially in the primary creep stage, and the primary it evolves and finally stabilizes, and when it stabilizes, that is where you start seeing the secondary creep stage. So, during primary creep stage you have a substructure that is evolving, but if the substructure does not evolve, but if it stays constant, then your primary creep is, or if it is stabilized very quickly, then your primary creep stage is also going to come down, and that is what is happening in type B, where the substructure is constant more or less right from the beginning, and that is why your primary creep stage is small. Type C, curves of type C are observed for materials that have been previously crept at higher stresses. The increasing secondary stage creep rate over the primary stage is due to the recovery of the substructure corresponding to the previous steady state condition. So, these type of, so again if you deform your material at a higher creep stress. So, say the material already has a deformation history, in this case the deformation history corresponds to creep at a higher stress, and then the same sample is now crept at a lower stage. So, lower stress, then type C type of curves will be observed. So, here the increasing secondary stage creep rate over the primary stage is due to the recovery of the substructure corresponding to the previous steady state condition. So, here if you see the whatever substructure that was created at a higher stress is going to be recovered when you carry out the same test at a lower stress, and because when recovery happens faster we compared to strain hardening, we know that the rate of creep is going to be higher. So, that is why if you see the creep rate is increasing, because this is recovery dominated creep behavior. And finally, curve D. So, the sigmoidal nature of the creep curve. So, it is a sigmoidal type of creep curve. So, the sigmoidal nature of the creep curve, this type of a creep curve is observed when the deformation involves nucleation and spread of slip zones preceding the steady state. So, you are here there are certain slip zones that are nucleated and these slip zones tend to spread out, and when that happens that precedes the steady state, then you see this kind of a creep curve. And the alloys which demonstrate this kind of a creep curve are certain types of dispersed phase alloys. So, if you have a dispersion of a phase in a certain material, then you might come across such type of creep curves. So, these are broadly the different types of creep curves that one may encounter, and what I have outlined or informed you is what could be the possible reasons behind the observation of these type of creep curves.